I'd like to welcome everyone to our October webinar Scrivener series, brought to you by the creative minds behind Scrivener and Scapple Literature and Latte. I'm Oliver Evanson, your host for today, bringing you insights drawn from over 15 years of writing and Scrivener expertise. Now, today, whether you are a seasoned author or just starting out your writing adventure, our webinars are designed with your needs in mind. And today we'll be exploring the ultimate NaNoWriMo Scrivener guide, my own personal guide I created myself, and how to write your novel in 30 days. And remember, I do have a member of our dedicated technical support team standing by, ready to tackle any technical issues and answer your questions throughout the session. I have Ruth here today. You may have seen her already, dropping in links and stuff for us, taking care of business. Really appreciate her. Thank you, Ruth, so much for all you do. So if you encounter any issues at all, please reach out to her in the Q&A if you can. That'll help her see those quicker and get access to them, or in the chat as well. If you can't find the Q&A, that's just fine. Now, for those of you who wish to revisit today's sessions or share it with fellow writers, the webinar will be recorded, and you will find the replay on my YouTube channel tomorrow, okay? Possibly today. I'm going to try to get it out later today if I can. I do want to let you know I did get the last two sessions finally posted up there. Thank you so much for your patience there. And if you want to enjoy it ad-free, you can also check it out next week in the webinar library, our Literature and Latte webinar library. We'll get that posted up here in a week or so. So links will be provided shortly. I'm sure Ruth has already dropped in most of those for you. But we'll get them there at the ending in case anyone comes in a little bit later. Okay, well, let's get the ball rolling here. Now, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Oliver Evanson. I'm a writer, an editor, and mentor with 15 years of Scrivener and writing experience. And I'm eager to teach you what I have learned in my position as outreach specialist for Literature Latte, the creators of Scrivener and Scapple. Now, I absolutely love connecting with you and other like-minded writers. If you'd like to connect with me via email, send me an email at contact@ogevanson.com. I've been getting some great ones this week. I really appreciate that. Or better yet, you can also join one of my email lists. Now, I frequently send out valuable tips, techniques, and other things to help you become a better writer. And all subscribers will receive a free copy of my starter novel template. Now, I know there are some people still struggling to get access to that template. If you're still having troubles, please email me at contact@ogevanson.com. I'll get you squared away. Now, if you'd like to see what I'm working on as well, I'm in Scrivener. You can subscribe to my author website at oliverevanson.substack.com or use this QR code right here on the screen. I promise you won't be disappointed. I have been having a blast publishing a chapter of my book each week. I think you'll enjoy it. Check it out. Okay. Well, now that we're better acquainted, let's spend a few minutes outlining the schedule for today's session. Now, to begin, we'll start out with a short introduction to our topic where I'll basically help you know what you expect to learn today. Okay, we'll go over our training where I'll cover my ultimate NaNoWriMo Scrivener guide, and to wrap it up, I'll provide you all with a wealth of free resources, promotions, and things going on this month you can utilize to deepen your understanding of Scrivener and improve your writing skills. And I'll also leave ample time at the end for our Q&A, where I'll do my best as possible to answer as many of your questions as possible. Now, there's nothing I hate more than coming to a live event and waiting 45 minutes before the presenter even gets to his training, if he gets to it at all. So that's why I always like to establish very clear expectations on what you can expect to learn today. And this is what I promise to teach today. First off, I'm going to teach you how to download the Scrivener NaNoWriMo Special Trial Edition and install the template to kickstart your NaNoWriMo journey on the right foot. Okay. I'm going to teach you how to leverage Scrivener's powerful tools to track and report your progress throughout the month. And last but not least, I'm going to help you develop a simple yet powerful writing routine to help you maintain consistency all month long. And I'm confident by the end of this presentation, you will have the tools you need to win NaNoWriMo this year. Let's get started. Okay, well, first things first. If you haven't done so already, if you're new to Scrivener and this is your first time using it or first time hearing about it, you need to go ahead and download Scrivener. And luckily for you, there is an extended trial available from October 15th to December 7th, 2024. That's right, this year. So that's actually nearly 2 whole months to try out Scrivener for free. But what if you've already completed the free trial before? Well, you're not out of luck. No way. The NaNoWriMo Scrivener special trial version is accessible even if you have previously exhausted your previous Scrivener trial. So if you've used the Scrivener trial before and you're like, hey, I want to try Scrivener again, this is the best time to do it. Once again, that's from October 15th to December 7th. You'll be able to use that, and I'll show you how to download that and get that installed today. Okay. And once you have Scrivener installed, that takes us to step 2, the NaNoWriMo template. We have to get that downloaded and installed as well. This handy template can be found on Literature and Latte's website at literatureandlatte.com/NaNoWriMo. And if you need to use the special NaNoWriMo trial version, you'll find that there too. And we'll look at that in just a second. This template is specifically designed for NaNoWriMo participants and has some pretty cool features to help you reach your 50,000 word goal. Now, one of my favorite features of this template is that your project target is already set to the 50,000 words with a deadline target of November 30th, 2024, which means you're already ready to hit the ground running once the template is installed and your project is created. And if you really want to keep it simple, you can even use the handy dandy daily target template to help you stay on schedule each day. And I'll show you how that works here in just a second. But that's not all. The template allows you to easily update your NaNoWriMo account with your daily word count progress. No more manually inputting numbers every day. Just click the button and let Scrivener do the work for you once you get that set up. Okay, well, let's take a peek at that right now. I'm going to go ahead and share my other screen here. Let's actually go to the template. Let's go to the website here and download this Scrivener trial and the special trial edition and our template here. So if we go to literatureandlatte.com/NaNoWriMo, you can see it's right there at the top. Just type that into your browser window, Google Chrome, Safari, whatever you use, go there. And you'll be able to find this special page. It's only available at certain times of the year, and this is the time it's out right now. Scrivener plus NaNoWriMo extended trial and discounts. So if you need to access the extended trial edition, what you do, you're going to go ahead and scroll down here. Gets you all the information you could ever need. And right here is those free trial editions. If you're a PC user, download the PC version. If you are a macOS user, download the macOS version. In our case, I'd be using a Mac. And so that's where we go. We download here and save it right here to my downloads folder. Now I'm going to go ahead and exit that out because I don't need it right now, but that's how we would get that downloaded, and you just follow the basic installation steps as you would for any other application on a PC or a Mac, okay? Now, once that Scrivener is installed, up and running and ready to go, okay, you can actually come down here as well and also download the NaNoWriMo novel template. And this is the template I'm going to recommend you use this month, okay? It tells you all about how it works, but we're going to go ahead and either select the Windows or the Mac version. It even gives you instructions on how to install it, but we're going to look at that right now today. I'm going to click the Mac version. It's going to download that here. And just so you know, it's pretty similar for the PC version as well. It's also going to download that template. In fact, we can even look at it so you can see that. There we go. We have two templates there. One was the Windows, one is the Mac version, okay? But let's go ahead and open that up. I'm going to go ahead and delete these real quick because I have a bunch of them open here. I'm going to download the Mac one again just in case. That way you don't run into any issues. Okay, there it is right there. I'm actually going to drag it over to my desktop so it's easy to find here. So I have that opened up. Scrivener is installed and ready to go. What I need to do is go ahead and install it. Now, real quick, let me make sure yep, I did. It's not there. So you can see I don't have it installed. It would be in the fiction section that would pop up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up Scrivener. It should pop up right to our new project window. If this window doesn't open up, that's okay. Go to File, New Project, and it'll pop right up for you. If you're still lost, go to the Help menu here. That'll help you find it. Let's go ahead and go into Options in the bottom left corner here and select Import Templates. Here we go. Once we do that, we need to navigate to wherever our template is saved. In this case, I saved it to my desktop. There it is right there. Go ahead and click Import. And that's what it looks like once it's imported and ready to go. Okay, so we can double click that if we want to. We can create it. We'll call this our NaNoWriMo project. You can call it whatever you want. If you have a working title for your project, that's great. The more specific, the better. In this case, I'm just going to keep it pretty simple with that right there. There we go. It'll pop this up here with our new project ready to go and ready to get started here. It'll tell you about NaNoWriMo, what to do before you begin. You can read through this whole thing. It'll help you get started and tell you about this template and how it works. Now, we are going to go through some of these details together later, so just hang tight. We'll look at that in just a minute. So I see Tim is asking, that's a great question. Can we import the template into a project that is in progress? So you can't really import it in, but what you could do is you could take the content from your other project and import it into a new project. And by that, I mean, let me just show you real quick how that might work. So I have this project open right here. I could open up an existing project of mine. So let's say the Otter and the Amulet, which happens to be one I'm working on right now, right? And if I really wanted to, I could drag and drop my draft into the manuscript folder like so. And that would bring this manuscript over everything that I've been working on. Now, there are pros and cons to that. You can see when I do that, it's going to bring in all my labels too. I think it even brings in some statuses and things like that. There are some things that kind of get carried over, but not everything. And so it depends on how much work you've done. In this case, a lot of work has gone into this project. So for me, it wouldn't make sense for me to drag this over into this project here. But if I'm starting with a fairly fresh project, maybe I've just done some outlining and things, I'm just bringing over research and things like that, then yeah, why not? Go ahead and bring things over here because there are certain elements of this template you may want to take advantage of just for NaNoWriMo, right? Just for NaNoWriMo. So consider that, kind of weigh the pros and cons and decide what's going to be best for you. If you're okay just sticking it out here in your old project, that's fine. You can just revise and change some of your targets here to match what you're working on that month. But for most of us, I think we're going to find sticking with this NaNoWriMo template is going to be a good fit for us. Okay, so we got that set up here. Let's make this small again, a bit bigger. And let's see if I forgot anything. I don't think so. Yep, I think we're good to go. So we'll jump back into our presentation. And don't worry about those features. I know we didn't cover them. We will cover them here in some of the next steps. Well, now that we have the NaNoWriMo template installed, it's time to set up our document templates. And this template comes with some great pre-made templates for character and setting sketches, as well as a daily target tracker template. And we'll look at that. It's pretty simple stuff. It's not rocket science. Don't worry. It's not going to be too hard. However, you may also want to create your own custom templates for things like parts, chapters, scenes, or even entire books if you're writing a series. Something to consider. And I'll show you how to do that. Let me click my button so you can see those two. Typically, I do. I typically use custom templates for all my projects, and so I think it's worth taking a little bit of time. But it just depends on how you plan to structure your project and how you plan to actually use the NaNoWriMo project. If you're just using it to get through NaNoWriMo and to keep track of everything and have a nice clean space, then that's great. If you want to make this your primary project even after NaNoWriMo, then you may want to do a little bit more work on the front end here before you get started. Okay. Step 4 is where the fun part comes in, where we're actually going to build out your novel structure. Now, Scrivener has the handy Corkboard feature, allowing you to visually outline your story by breaking it down into chapters, scenes, or even smaller sections, which I sometimes do. I do sometimes like to break a scene up into like smaller beats, scene beats, whatever you want to call them. I don't even know what to call them, but I do that sometimes. Now, you can also easily move things around and rearrange them as needed. Now, if you're someone who likes to plan out their story before writing, this is an excellent tool for creating detailed outlines. But if you're more of a pantser, someone who writes by the seat of their pants, right? Don't worry, you can still use the Corkboard to jot down scene ideas and then kind of move them around and structure them as you go. In fact, the method I have today where you kind of build out your structure using the daily target template may be really good for you, where you literally just make 30 templates, 30 daily tracker documents, and you just kind of jumble them around and write one each day and try to hit that target every single day and just see where you end up with. Okay. And if you're struggling with your structuring your story, don't forget about the State of the Cat method we discussed during the Outline Your Bestseller webinar on Wednesday. You can definitely still use my framework in this template by following the steps in that webinar. Okay, so check that out. Okay, let's talk. And don't worry, I know I'm speeding through this. We are going to back up and go over this step by step together. I just want to get through a lot of this content so we can go through it rather than flipping back and forth all the time. Okay, here we go. So step 5, track and report progress. As you write your novel throughout the month, it's really, really helpful to track and report your progress. I found that to be one of the most important things for me in terms of if I want to actually hit a word goal. If I want to hit a word goal, I need to be, one, tracking myself, know where I am at, right? Even if I'm behind, okay? And I need someone to report to. And we'll talk about that in just a second. Now, Scrivener has some really powerful tools to help you do just that. First off, we have the project and session targets, which are already set up and ready to go in the NaNoWriMo template. Now, if you're just going to use those, then you're actually already off to a great start. Now you can check your progress anytime by going to the project targets window. We'll look at that here in just a minute. The outliner feature also allows you to easily see the status of each document in your project. You can use this to track which scenes or chapters are complete and which ones still need work. You can even see your document targets, total word count, total progress, and book parts, chapter, or scene levels. Now, one thing that's really pretty cool about the NaNoWriMo template is that it can actually sync your word count to your NaNoWriMo account with a click. But even if you don't want to use an official NaNoWriMo account to track your progress, I still recommend that you report your word count to either a fellow writer, maybe a writer's group, or some sort of like-minded community that's working together towards the same goal. And that kind of takes us into our next step, step 6, where essentially I would highly encourage you to find, join, or create a writer's group or community, because that's what this is all about. This whole NaNoWriMo in a month thing, it's this idea that we are, as a community of writers, are coming together to do something incredibly difficult, incredibly challenging, and exciting, right? Now, it really can be isolating and overwhelming if you've done it alone. I know, I've tried. And I'm always like, I can do it. I got it all by myself this year. And ironically, the one year I did it with other people last year when I live streamed it and I did it with a few other writers, we had a blast, 1. And 2, it kind of gave me that accountability I needed to show up all the time. And so, it's a really powerful thing to do. I know some of you who are introverted like me, maybe want to resist me on this, but please find a friend or a group or someone to help you stay motivated. It really is one of the best ways to stay motivated and engaged. So consider joining an existing group on social media platforms like we have the Scrivener forum, we have the NaNoWriMo forums. You can even start your own community if you don't feel comfortable in any of those places. You can go through and create your own Discord. You could join or create an existing Facebook group, or even use your Substack. There's some great features on Substack, Substack chat, where you can kind of grow your community in that way and talk with other writers and so forth. So being part of a writing community not only provides you with that support and the encouragement during those really tough days, and trust me, they will come, but it also allows you to connect with other writers and share tips and tricks for success. So one thing I will say here, though, as a word of caution, not all writers groups are going to be a great fit for you. Okay, so don't be afraid to try out a few different ones until you find something that really you just feel like this is me, this works, we kind of click. And so, yeah, just bear that in mind. Look around, shop around, find something that really is going to work for you. Okay, let's see. Let's face it. Writing a novel in 30 days is hard enough without distractions getting in the way. So that's where step 7 comes in. That's where Scrivener's composition mode comes in handy. Turn on Do Not Disturb. Okay, if your phone has it, I'm sure it does, turn it on. Get rid of the distractions. And then quickly, once you've done that, open up Scrivener's composition mode so you can focus solely on your writing. So in composition mode, there are a number of different customization settings you can do to get it just how you like it, but it's pretty easy. You just click the button, everything kind of melts away, and you're ready to write. Now, I know that was a lot. Step 3, I think it's 3 through 7. Let's go into Scrivener now, and let's start back at the top and go through them one step by step and make it happen. Okay? Let's start with step 3, document templates. Now I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Now what I've done, yesterday I spent a little time and I created a separate project where I went in and did some of the stuff we did on Wednesday to my NaNoWriMo template, so we wouldn't have to redo that today and save us some time. So if you're wondering real quick, I just opened up a NaNoWriMo project. I used the template. All I did was add in my beat list here and my no beats assigned collection. I didn't do everything, didn't add any keywords, anything like that, but I went ahead and added those 2 things. If you're curious about how I did this, check out Wednesday's webinar on my YouTube channel, or next week in the webinar library ad-free. So watch out for that. But essentially, I added those things in. Let's look real quick, though, at the template sheets. Okay. So right now, already by default, Scrivener gives us some great template sheets to start out with. We have our character sketch. Okay. We have our setting sketch, and we have the daily target sketch. And the main difference between this and our regular template is this guy right here, the daily target sketch. You'll find this in the novel templates as well. This one you will not, because this one is set up as a daily target for NaNoWriMo. You can see this daily target down here at the bottom is 1,667 words. And there's 0 out of 1,667. If I click over here, there's a little progress bar right here. I can actually come here and edit this, even give myself a minimum target. And really, that's probably going to be my minimum. But we could do that. So let's make this the minimum. And I'm going to help me progress a little bit faster. This is going to be a personal thing. Let's say I wanted to do this. I wanted to always kind of stay ahead a little bit. I might jump this up to like, I don't know, 1,700 or something. You don't have to do this, but you certainly could. And I could also turn on show target notifications to make sure I'm receiving a notification every time I hit that goal. So now my minimum target is going to be that 1,667, and my daily target is 1,700. But you could just leave it alone. Just want to point that out there. You could just leave it alone. That's just something I like to optimize a little bit. So there we go. We got that right there. That's set up and ready to go. I could also come in here and make some chapter and scene templates. Chapter, like so. And then I could create a scene. Let's just do one scene. Scene, template. Now, if you want to treat this more like an actual project you're planning to use later on, this might be beneficial to you because you could actually come here. My daily target, this 1,700 or 1,667 words, is not typically the length of a scene for me. Typically, my length for a scene is somewhere between, I'd say, 750 words to 1,200 words. It's typically where I end up. And so I'll probably set this target here as kind of a go-between there. I'll probably do like 1,200 words, minimum target 750, and then click OK, like that. And I allow myself to go above that. Ideally, though, that's about what I write generally. It's not always true, right? Right, art is subjective, but that's a pretty good target for me. And so having something like that would be handy. And that would be if I don't plan to use the daily target at all. I just want to come up here, create some chapters, like so. I'm gonna move that guy to trash real quick. We'll go here and go to add. I can go like this and add in a template and get to work. And then I can actually use my project targets to keep track of my progress, my session target, rather than using a daily target. Okay, but we'll look at that a little bit more as we talk about, as we move into our next steps here. But before we do, there's one more thing I want to do. If I wanted to create a book template, I could certainly do that. Oops, sorry, let's move that to trash. Book template. And then I could add my 3-act structure in here as well. Act 1, if I'm using Save the Cat. Oops, wrong button. Move to trash. Let's do Act 2A. Oops, if I could put the right things here. Act 2B. And then Act 3, right? I can push these guys inside like so. I can even change my icon here to a book. Let's do the red book today, like that. Okay, and if I wanted to even go a step further, I could take these chapter templates and stick them inside here as well. I'm not going to. I don't think it's really necessary because I can always just grab that right there. And that way I could come up here to my manuscript here. I could come and add in a whole book template. I could throw in my chapter template right there. Or I could even use, if I want to, if I don't want to use the chapter templates, if I just want to keep track of a daily target, I could do that as well. Just throw a daily target in there just like that, okay? Just to give us some options here for what you can do, okay? There we go. And that's how I would set those up if I wanted to set up some custom templates. Of course, if I want to use a character template, I can come here, go to add. Right there's the character sketch. Same with places. Setting sketch. You can see I can quickly and easily use my templates anywhere I'd like to. Okay, looking good. Let's see. Okay, now we're talking about outlining in the corkboard. Now, another way we could do this, we could get rid of the book template altogether if we didn't want to use that. If we're just going to use the daily targets template, this is a great way to do it, okay? And this would be me thinking I'm just creating a fresh project just to get the writing done. And I'm using this primary project, this template is just for NaNoWriMo. That's how I would treat it. And honestly, that's probably how I'm going to treat my NaNoWriMo this year. This is how I'm going to approach it. Because I already have other templates and projects and things that I use that have better tools already built into them. I just need something basic to get me through NaNoWriMo. And so what I'm going to do, and I'm actually going to call this my 30 days, 50K in 30 days. In 30 days, okay. And then I'm actually going to come in here and go, I'm just going to give me 30 of these. And to make it so I can see that I actually have 30 of them, I'm going to do something like this. Boom, 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 boom. I'm just duplicating. So if you're wondering how I do that, that's Command D on a Mac. That's Control D on the PC. I can also just right click and click duplicate as well. But to save us some time, I'm going to keep doing that like that. I'm going to go all the way up to 30, and I'm just going to delete the one at the beginning. Okay, boom, like so. And I'll delete this guy right here. And then probably what I'll do here, because I don't like really long views like this, I'm probably going to come in here and break it up into weeks too. So week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Drag those in. And then close that up. Week 2, like so. And then week 3. And you could break this up anyhow you want to. This is just one way of doing it. You could even keep them all out if that makes more sense to you. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I could do math, that would be great. Oops. I can also just select those and push this little over button right there. Get those in. And then week 4. 7. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then week 5. Like so. And I like this because now every time I want to complete a day, I just come to a document here and I meet my daily target, right? In this case, I did 1,700 words. So I'm going to go by the end. I'll probably end up with more. But if I get a little short, that's okay. I still have my minimum target, right? Set up as at 1,166,667. So either way, either one of those targets I hit, it's good for me in the end. Okay. And that's how I would set that up. Let's see here. Boom. Yep, and since I set up my no beat assign everything here too, I can even come here and I can see all that has been done here for me. All no beats have been assigned right. Everything's looking good. And so I could even come here and make assignments. Let's switch over to the outliner view here so we could see this, right? So I've got my week 1, week 2, week 3. Oh, look how nice that is. I'm not using labels, so I'm going to turn labels off. I am using status, so we'll keep status on. I'll probably come over here. You can see, actually, we could make a whole template out of this thing if we really, really wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and select all these and change the status here. Okay, I'm going to right-click, change status to do. Okay, and that would actually be worth noting. Like if you wanted to come here to, let's see here, our templates, right? We want to add statuses here as well. That's one thing I neglected to do. There's no statuses assigned. But even coming here to our daily target, if you just assign that to do right there before you go and create all this, then that'll save you that step because it'll all already be built in to these guys right here. But if you didn't, you forgot, that's how you would do that. You can see I can look at it 1 week at a time, or all the weeks, or 1 week at a time like this. Okay. You can see we even got our targets there, which is great. Total progress. I don't need the section type. It's not important. I'm not too worried about structure here at this junction. Let's see, where are you? Section type. Oh, there it is. Okay, right there. I could add in total word count. And where's the other one? This is all tracking. Why can't I find it? Total word count and total progress. Do I already? Oh, I already have it there. So total words right there. Total target. Total progress. Let's see if I'm missing anything here. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. Let's look, before we jump into too much of this, let's look at our targets here. So right here at the top, this is the built-in target that I was talking about in our manuscript in this folder, in this project specifically, in the NaNoWriMo template. You can see 50,000 K has already been set up for us, and even our section targets have been set up, and our deadline is right there for November 30th, 2024. And you can see from now we have 36 days left, so I only have to technically write 1,388 words per day if I start today. Of course, I'm not starting today. We'll probably be starting on the 1st, right? But you can see that's already set up, ready to go, and it's already calculated that out for you. So if you didn't want to do this kind of approach where we have a daily target for each document. You could just rely on the session target there because that's going to calculate that for you each day. And it's what's really cool about this too. If you miss a day, it's going to calculate how many words you still need to write by the end of the month to succeed. It will go up, right? So if you're not right, if you're consistently missing days, it's going to go up, 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 up. So watch that. And that's why I kind of combat that by saying, hey, let me set a little higher mark for myself so I can try to go just a little bit further so that it actually goes a little bit down. I have a little bit of grace, a little buffer at the end of the month. That's how I like to approach it. But, to each their own. If you want to mess with these settings at all and kind of adjust things around for you, you can come here into the options section here, right? And you can even adjust the deadline if you want to. I recommend just leaving it alone. You can turn on show target notifications, which I recommend you do. You can see it's automatically calculate from draft deadline. You can choose specific days if you're not able to write every day, right? Well, then you could adjust that. And if you are planning to write on the day of the deadline, currently the template does not have that turned on. You could turn that on. That would give you even more time to do it. But I think it might be wise to leave that off because then you'll find yourself on the last day and you'll find, hey, I actually have an extra day and you won't even know it, right? So my advice is probably leave that alone unless you really want to change the writing days. If you're going to be only writing on like weekends or on Monday, Wednesday, Friday or something like that, that's when you want to come here and make an adjustment. Just bear in mind, if you do that, you're going to kill your days. You can see now I'm like 3,125 words a day with only 16 days left. And it doesn't give you a lot of time. So watch that. You can kind of mess around with this to find out what might work best for you. I'm actually planning to write Monday through Friday, not on the weekends. And so you can see that's going to up how many words I need to write per day. So I'd have to make adjustments to my document targets if I wanted to meet that goal, or just rely on my section target here to keep me grounded. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. Okay. Looks good. Now, if you want to set up your NaNoWriMo word count here, you'll need to create an account on NaNoWriMo.org and set up your NaNoWriMo project there, okay? So what I would encourage you to do is I'd encourage you to read this whole process here and do that. Now, you also will find the option here. I think, let's see where it was. Under Project Update NaNoWriMo word count. So if I click that right now, it's going to try to connect me. I'll have to enter in my username and password. And like I said, on your NaNoWriMo account, you will have to have selected a project for your NaNoWriMo goal. So if you want to do that, go ahead and get that set up and do it. Unfortunately, I don't currently have it set up, but if you wanted to, that's how you would go ahead and do that. If you have problems setting that up, we do have our wonderful tech support team like Ruth, Alex, and the rest of them. They'd be happy to help you work that out if you run into any issues. But essentially, that's where you find it. This is the instructions right here in the template. This is the option to go ahead and update it right there. Just log in, get things hooked up, and you'll be squared away and ready to go. And once that's set up, all you have to do is come here and click that, and it'll update that word count every day, every time you push it. Okay? There we go. If we want to look into it further at the end, maybe we'll see if we have time to do it, because it's just been a minute since I used my NaNoWriMo official NaNoWriMo account. Okay, let's see if I missed anything here. Okay, we're looking good. We're looking good. So we talked about targets. We talked about the outliner, project statuses, things like that. So I have in my outliner, I have my title and synopsis, status, total word count. One thing I think I kind of neglected was talking about our Corkboard view a little bit. So let's go back to our Corkboard view here real quick. Okay, you can see here, I could come in here for each one and actually kind of just mess around with it. Now, if you're a pantser, you may not want to break it up into weeks like this. I mean, it's nice to see, but if you want to actually just get ideas out, this is how I would do it. Just start writing, right? Jot down a scene, then do it. And then you can actually just kind of move things around anyhow you want to. You can see here, anytime I make a change here, it changes it over here, right? So bear in mind of that. So you can see everything's kind of moving around here. That numbering scheme is going to be off if I do it this way. But you could also go into our freeform Corkboard here at the bottom right corner, or go to Help and search freeform right there. See, that's already turned on. And that way, no changes are actually made. You can just move things around anyhow you like to. in this mode. And this is really handy if you're very early in the stages of outlining and things like this. If you have no idea what you're writing yet, if you're just literally writing by the seats of your pants, this is a great way. Just start jotting down some scene ideas, and maybe even just have a goal. Say, hey, by the end of October, I need to have a scene idea for each of these cards. So it doesn't matter what order they're in. Doesn't matter if you could assign beats. You could base it like, hey, this is gonna be my opening image, theme stated, whatever. You could do it however you want to. Get those assigned, get those set up, and just go to town. Just write. That's how I would approach it. In fact, that's probably what I'll do this year. So I'll probably come in here. I'll just have it set up just like this. Go through each index card, probably assign a beat, and then decide what I want that beat to be about, and just kind of see what comes up with. What I come up with. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if you're missing your targets, I know someone saw you're missing this targets button right here. I think I just glanced on that in the chat. You can come to project, show project targets right there and find it. Okay. And if you'd like it to show up here as well, you can right click and customize your toolbar on a Mac and drag and drop that directly on there. If you're on a PC, okay, search help and search customize toolbar. That'll pull up that customized toolbar menu. It is different. It's not a drag and drop. It's I don't know how to describe it, but it'll open up a window. You can add that to your toolbar, apply it, and it'll show up on there. Okay, so just be aware of that. So hopefully that helps you out there, Anita, and getting that set up and ready to go. Okay, looking good. So that is that. Now, as far as reporting, I know we talked about the NaNoWriMo reporting, but if you're just reporting to a group or a friend, on Discord or, Facebook or whatever, just find somebody. Find somebody. That's just so important to have someone to work with. I found that to be one of the single most motivating things to get me to write is just having a partner who expects me to show up and be there. All right. So highly encourage that. Okay, let's see if I've missed anything here. Okay, we talked about that. Okay, let's talk about composition mode now. Okay, so that's right. So we're going to jump out here. If there's anything I've missed or anything you guys are interested in hearing about again, please let me know in the chat. I'll keep an eye on that here in just a second. But the next thing I want to talk about is our composition mode here. And you can see here in the top right corner, that's where the composition mode is located. If you can't find it there for any reason, go to help and search composition mode right there, and you can go to enter composition mode under view, enter composition mode. There is also a keyboard shortcut next to that you can look at. I don't remember what the PC one is there, but you can see the Mac one is right there, option command F, like so. And so if I want to do that, I can push option command F like that, and boom, it's going to pop up. I have typewriter scrolling enabled. It does let me know that that's set up and ready to go. I'll show you what that is in just a second. If you don't want to have it on, you can click disable. You can also click this typewriter right here to do the same thing. And if you don't want to be accessed again, go ahead and check that box and click OK. Now I leave it on so you guys can see that anytime that pops up, you know what it is and what's going on there. Click OK. And you can see already things are clean, clear, and ready to go. I can start writing and get to work like this. Okay. Let me see something real quick. Let's go in here. Interesting. Okay, there we go. And so what I'm going to do, there's a few different options if we bring our mouse down here like this, where we can make some changes. Of course, my dock is right there too. If you're on a Mac and your dock is right here in composition mode, it's so much nicer to have the dock somewhere else. In fact, real quick, let me just move that over to the left side of my screen so it's not in the way of us today. Generally, I do. I actually will literally change. Anytime I'm really seriously using composition mode, I'll come and change my dock. I don't always use it for presentations, so typically I switch it back so it's more of a normal experience. Not most people keep their dock in the same place. So we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and position that to the left. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So now when I come down here, my dock is not showing up. Perfect. Okay. So we can see here we have some options here. We have this text scale right here where I can actually click this and it'll give me a bunch of different options to zoom in. Now I found the text scale to be 200% to be ideal for me personally, but if you need bigger or smaller, you can zoom that editor in or out as much as you want. You can even give it a custom size, maybe go to like 250 or something, I don't know, and zoom right in there. But I like that 200%. In fact, most writers I've collaborated with have told me the same thing. There's something about 200% that's just like spot on. Now I can make the paper really, really skinny, or I can make it really, really big. I can have it fill the whole screen if I want to. Now, personally, I like things to line up in my view, and so I don't like the full screen. I like about right there. Okay, that's where typically I like it to be. Maybe just actually just right about there. It's not. I don't have the precise number of what that is, but I just happen to like that, just like that. If I need access to my inspector, it's right there. Can grab it. So if I have a title or a synopsis here, I need access to, I can have that pulled up here and put off right to the side. Scene summary here, which is really handy if I just want to close everything out, open up, have my summary right there, and just get started writing. Okay. And you can see I also have access to other great cool things here if I need them. I don't, but there we go. I can go to anywhere in my project right here without leaving. So if I wanted to go back to week 1, daily target 1, I could, like so. Okay, if I wanted to go to a different section altogether, my setting sketch, I could go there too. You can see I can go anywhere. I don't even have to leave composition mode. It's like having my binder access right here, and I can get anywhere I need to go. If I need to reference a different chapter or scene or a different day, and go back a day and see what's going on, that's how I would do that. Okay, let's go to, I can't remember exactly where we were. Let's see. I think we're week 1, 7. Yes, target 7. Okay. The other thing we can do is actually adjust our focus. I can focus the line. And this is not going to show up really good, so let me get some other text in here. Start writing your novel today. Okay. I'm actually just going to copy and paste this so we can kind of see this. You can see, okay, there we go. Okay, and we're actually going to go ahead and copy and paste this guy down here like so. So you can see it's highlighting just the line here. Okay, it's focusing just the line, rather I should say not highlighting. It's focusing just the line. Everything else is kind of blurred out a little bit. And for sentence, I can do a whole sentence. Okay, in this case, it's just doing the sentence. Or I can do a paragraph. Now, unfortunately, I believe if you're a PC user, you're not going to have access to focus mode yet. That's something we hope to bring at some point, but currently it's not available for PC users. So I do apologize about that. But if you're a Mac user, this is a great extra tool inside of our composition mode that's great to use. Now, you can see another great thing about having typewriter mode turned on is that when I hit return, things stay at the center of the screen. So I'm never looking at the top of my screen. I'm never looking at the bottom of my screen. I'm looking right dead eye in the center. I love that. Now I can turn that off. You can see it kind of brings it down here like so. Okay. And you can see it doesn't quite focus things up for me until I get down here one more. And see, I don't like this because I have stuff here at the bottom of my screen. That'd be really frustrating for me to have to look down here all the time. So I keep typewriter mode always turned on so I can see right there at the center. And it just everything just kind of floats up above it. I love it. It's great. Simple, but a very important little tool there. And if I really wanted to, I can adjust my background fade. I can fade things in and out here. Honestly, I never touch that one. I just leave it alone. I like my black background. I like to keep things simple. And there you go. I'm ready to go ahead and use composition mode. I'm assuming I probably turned on Do Not Disturb. I've turned off all my notifications. Maybe even killed my Wi-Fi if I'm going on offline only. And I'm just writing. That's it. That's composition mode. Oh, whoops. I should have mentioned that. If you want to get out of composition mode, you can press the escape button, or you can hit this little button here at the bottom right corner. That'll take you right out back to where we were. There you go. Okay. Okay, so step 8, block out time. And I really mean it. To win NaNoWriMo, you really need to block out time for your writing. It's setting that schedule is probably going to be the most important thing that you do. A schedule kind of signifies to you and to others that you're giving yourself permission to write instead of doing other things. If so, there's a quote I'm familiar with. I can't remember who said it, but basically it goes like this: what gets scheduled gets done. And maybe that's true, maybe that's not, but I have found that if it's scheduled, I'm more likely to do it than if it's not scheduled. If I just kind of expect time to show up in my day. It typically does not show up in my day. I have to be intentional. So whether it's early in the morning before we work, during your lunch break, late at night when everyone else is asleep, or somewhere in between, really just choose and commit to a time that suits you best, and commit to doing it consistently. And most importantly, pull out your Apple Calendar, your Google Calendar, whatever calendar you use, your to-do list. So I don't care what it is. Write something down, put something in there every day for all of November, or whatever your schedule is going to be. Set up the schedule, get it in there. And to make it even more effective, I suggest you build a simple writing ritual around your scheduled writing time. Now you can see mine on the slide right there, It's nothing elaborate, but I tell you, it really, really works. If you just, it's just enough to keep me grounded. Now, so you can see there, I have I turn on Do Not Disturb. That's the first thing I do. I don't have Scrivener listed in there, but of course, the writing portion, that's where Scrivener pops up. Do Not Disturb turns on. I throw on some inspirational music. For me, I write fantasy novels, so I like to listen to some kind of like a future world music or Audio Machine or some kind of like fantasy-enabled music. I turn that on, and then I start my timer. And I make sure I take plenty of breaks. I typically start like a 20 to 25 minute timer, and I break for 5 to 10 minutes after I'm done. And after that, I just keep writing. I have Scrivener open. I'm just writing. And another thing, a word of advice I'd give you is I'd avoid rewriting and editing during this phase. Just even like the next day, you can read through your stuff, but just avoid that urge to rewrite, because you'll just waste time doing that. The rewriting stage, the perfectionism that internal editor is going to want to come out and have you make all those changes now. Don't do it. Don't fall for that trap. Just read it for what it is, and then keep writing the next day. Just keep moving forward. Do it, and you'll do great. I believe in you. Okay. And last but certainly not least, our step 9 here, final most crucial step to winning NaNoWriMo, is just simply showing up. It's easy to get caught up in perfectionism or self-doubt when writing a novel in 30 days. But remember, aim for excellence instead of perfection. Give yourself permission to make mistakes. And most importantly, guys, have fun. I mean it. Have fun with your writing. This whole thing is not meant to be some grueling task that you're forcing yourself to do. This is supposed to be fun. And so hopefully Scrivener can kind of take off that weight, all that stress. This template can kind of get you grounded and get you pointing in the right direction, and you can just have some good old fun, which is really what this is all about to me. So NaNoWriMo is ultimately, it's about challenging yourself and having a good time. So let go of those expectations. Just enjoy the process. Even if you don't manage to write 50K in 30 days, the fact that you showed up and gave it your best is something to be proud of. And honestly, it counts as a victory in my book. So there you have it. That's my complete guide to using Scrivener for NaNoWriMo. Hopefully with these tips and tricks and steps, you'll be well on your way to winning NaNoWriMo this year. I believe in you. You can do this, guys. Now, before I wrap up the presentation, I do want to share with you guys some exciting news. All NaNoWriMo participants can get 20% off of Scrivener using the code listed on this slide, NaNoWriMo24. Now, this code is valid until December 7th, and for those of you who successfully complete NaNoWriMo and hit that 50,000 word goal, you can receive a special 50% off discount code. And so to obtain your discount, that 50% discount code, winners must have completed 50,000 words by the end of November and registered, I don't know if I could say the word, registered it to their NaNoWriMo account. So please, bear that in mind. If that's your goal, go for it. You can do it. I believe in you. And when you've won and accomplished that, send us an email. We'll get you taken care of. We'll get you that code ready and set up and ready to go for you. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about our amazing free resources. Don't forget about the NaNoWriMo template I showed you how to set up. And of course, my free starter novel template available there anytime. If that's more your jam too, that's a great template to use. Doesn't matter where you're at, what template you use, so long as you get the writing done. Of course, we have our webinar library available to you. All these events for this week will be posted there next week ad-free, so check that out. If you'd like to watch them before then, I do have them on my YouTube channel. Right now, I got both sessions from Monday and Wednesday posted, and I will get this one posted up here later today. So thanks for bearing with me. Went a lot smoother today, so it shouldn't take me too long to get this one up for you today. Of course, and if you would like to subscribe to my community, there's the QR code right there, and you can also do so at ojevanson.com/links. That's a quick link tree to all the links that I offer. It's a great link to bookmark and save. Okay. Now, before I conclude this webinar, I want to make sure I delivered on my promise. Are you guys more confident, or should I say, are you more confident you can win NaNoWriMo this year with these tools? Let me know in the chat. And if there are any areas that still need clarification or further explanation, now is the time to ask as we transition into our Q&A. Mary says, okay, let's see. Okay, Mark, I see your question. We'll come to it in a second. Thank you again, Oliver. That was fun. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Chris said, okay, perfect, Chris. I agree. Rebecca says, yes, thanks. Anita says, yes, great, guys. I'm glad to hear it. Happy to that this was helpful for you guys. It's what I want to hear. That's my goal. And of course, if you have any feedback for us, if you have any questions, you have any concerns, anything at all, please reach out to us here at these email addresses. If you have a technical issue, a technical problem with Scrivener, we have free technical support that are happy and able to help you out. And of course, if you have any webinar-related requests or feedback or anything for me, send me an email at contact@ojevanson.com. I do read every email I receive. Not always able to respond to every email I receive, but one way or the other, I'll try to get you where you need to go. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor for any questions. And then at that point, when we probably have about 5, 10, 15 minutes left for Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, now is the time. Oh, thank you, Ruth, for dropping that in there. Yes. She says, please reach out. Tech support team is there if you need them. And they're definitely happy to help. They're there for you. Yes. Let's see. So let's see here. I saw... oh, thank you, Floaty. Sorry you had to head out, but we'll miss you. Let's see here. And says, thank you all for the valuable information and encouragement this week. Best of luck. Oh, yes. Best of luck to everyone. You're going to do it. So Nora's asking, is there a possibility to rewatch the webinar? Yes, of course. Here, let me drop my links in for you I have those. I wanted to give those to you anyways. So go here. You can find all my links, including the link to my YouTube channel. If you want my YouTube channel directly, I will get this one posted here later today. Let me see if I can actually find I believe my YouTube is on there as well. But if not, here it is. So you can go straight to my YouTube channel, subscribe. I do get those posted up as quick as I can. Took a little bit longer this week for the first 2 sessions, but they are both posted now, and I'll get this one later today. Fiona says, thanks for this. I'm a quilter, write random scenes as they play out in my head and then have the fun of stitching them together. Oh, I love that. Fiona. That's great. So Scrivener will help me organize the scenes and the Save the Cat beats, structure them, and will help me organize them. That's great. I agree with that. That is so true. In fact, Fiona, I love that approach. That's a great approach to writing a novel because then you can just kind of stitch everything together. You can write it out as it comes. I think a lot of us kind of work that way. Sometimes you have an idea for a scene. It kind of pops up out of nowhere and you write it down. And Scrivener is a great place to record that and then kind of see how you can draw the connections. And I love the corkboard for that because you can put them all on the corkboard and then kind of shuffle them around and see what works, right? Just like I used to do that. And he says, I like that tool. I like that. I write like that too. Quilter, love that. That's awesome. Great. Let's see. Did I miss any questions? Let me look at the Q&A, make sure I didn't miss anything there. Nope. No, I think those are all been answered. And asked, when I cut and paste something in Word, it automatically adjusts the spacing where the word phrase was cut. But Scrivener isn't doing that. Do I need to set an option? Let me think about that for a second. Okay, so, and I'm guessing when you're importing into Scrivener, you're probably just using edit paste or the shortcut command paste or something. What I would encourage you to do is go to edit, paste, and match style, and that usually clears up most formatting issues, if it is a formatting issue that you're running into. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm missing there. Yeah, okay. You're welcome, Nora. Happy to help you out there. Let me see if there's any other questions here. If you want me to, I can certainly demonstrate that if we need to. Let me see here. Mark asks, if you've already written some of your questions, can this be copied and pasted into a Scrivener and be counted as part of your NaNoWriMo? Yeah, you can easily. Yeah, Mark, you could easily import that in and put that in. Yeah, it's not a problem at all. And so, I mean, there's no one's going to come by and check and say, hey, did you write all 50K in November or whatever like that? You just put them in there, and when you reach your 50K, you reach your 50K. That's all it takes. You just gotta record it in your NaNoWriMo account. That's the big thing. If you're going to be doing it, if you want to win, that's one thing I need to point out. You do need to record it in your NaNoWriMo account. So just make sure you get those that actually recorded in your NaNoWriMo account. So just bear that in mind. Let's see here. I have to watch it again, learn how to do it. That's great. Let's see. Okay, so I see that someone was asking, Rebecca was asking about the microphone that was appearing up in my Scrivener thing, and my Scrivener toolbar. I assume that was, and Ruth did address it a little bit. Yeah, that is a tool that actually was going to be part of the presentation today, and I ended up cutting it because I didn't have enough time to get that edited in. But yes, you can do that. Oops, I'm kind of moving around here. You can go ahead and use speech to text or dictation in Scrivener as well. It's a little bit different for PC and Mac users, which is why I didn't include in our presentation today. But I'll definitely do something on that in the future. If you are a Mac user, go ahead and go to that toolbar at the top and customize it like I showed you earlier, and it's really easy to add that in. Let's see here. Yeah. You mean cutting in Scrivener? You know what, Anne? I'm not sure about that. Let me look a little closer at your question again to make sure I understand. And where did that question go? You know, and I'm going to recommend you email that question to our technical support team because I'm not sure I fully understand it, and I hate to lead you astray. So send an email to us. There's those emails again, okay? And if you, depending on which platform you're on, send us an email, either Mac, Windows, or mobile, and we'll see if we can figure out what's going on. And that is kind of strange. Thank you, Ruth, for dropping that in. Thank you. Perfect. Okay, well, guys, I think I'm going to call it for today. It looks like we don't have any more questions. I appreciate everyone joining me today. I think we had a lot of fun. Hopefully this has helped you out quite a bit. As we conclude today's session, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to each of you for dedicating your time and energy to this webinar. Your active participation has been truly inspiring, and it has been an honor to support you in your writing journey. I hope the insights and tools today shared will empower you to elevate your writing craft using Scrivener. Please remember, our commitment to supporting your creative endeavors doesn't end here. Our team is always available to assist you as you explore and harness Scrivener's full potential. So stay connected with us and be sure to check out our upcoming webinar series next month for more educational, inspiring content. I've got some exciting things, so stay tuned. Until next time, write on and stay creative.